All right. So, yep, we were, where were we? We were here, and king to g6 is the correct thing. Black plays h5, right?
I guess c7.
Sir, king to f7?
King to f7. King to f7 will not
Just push the pawn.
because
So then king can try to come towards the white pawn.
You're too
king
late.
can come towards the white pawn.
And then promote it to a queen, maybe?
Yeah, that's, you got a good, this one.
Sir,
So
I don't.
go back.
Sir,
You're
if
right.
he goes to
So if king
f7, you
comes to
just push the
f7, right?
h pawn, right?
King comes to f7, then black king immediately first takes this. This should be the, yeah, let us do this, not g5. So now so this doesn't work, right? I mean, the pawn is going to fall, and after that the other pawn is going to queen. Black's pawn is going to queen. H pawn is going to queen. So
King to f5.
king to f5, again same thing. Black finishes off the pawn first.
So then c7.
c7.
No. Before this, instead of king f5, you play c7.
Okay. Before that, c7, then king to b7.
Promotes to knight.
Promotes to knight,
You
and
just take.
takes the knight.
Oh, you still take.
Yeah. So this is lost. So king g6 is correct. Then we are attempting h5. And we saw that king takes h5 does not work. Right? King takes h5, then king b6.
Sir,
King takes g7.
instead of pushing the pawn, why doesn't black king go for the white pawn?
That is because
Because you take
when he
g7.
can put the thing. So black, what should white play here?
King
Sir,
takes
white
g7.
cannot take the pawn.
You
White
can.
can take the pawn.
No,
You
but
make
then
it,
the pawn is queening.
you
Which
move
one?
diagonally and you
The H
make
pawn.
it faster.
H pawn is queening. King comes to f6. Now, can you remember this position? It was similar to that Reti's thing that we studied.
Yeah, but what if still pushes?
Which one? H4.
Yeah.
King to e5.
H3.
H3.
Yeah.
King to d6.
H2.
C7.
H1 equals queen.
And then C1 equal to queen. So it will equal position.
But then I could keep, yeah.
So I guess you take the pawn either way.
So black trying to come near the pawn doesn't really help black. Okay, we saw just now. We saw. I think let us see if king to b6, king to g7. What you can try playing something else, which is you want to play king to f5. Sorry, pawn to f5. Yeah, then also king to f6. h5. h5, it's a simple draw because king takes this and now this pawn is also going to fall. Yeah, white's pawn will also fall, but black's pawn will also fall very easily now. So now you are forced to play f4 if at all you want to have a chance of winning. Then king to e5. Now again you are supposed to, if black takes the white pawn, then white will take this pawn, and then obviously this is a draw after that. So you have to play f3. If you play f3, then king goes to d6, and then you are 2 steps away. White is also 2 steps away. Right? See, the whole thing is that the principle is that by moving diagonally, right, you do not lose out on any moves, and you can still go to the right or to the left as if you had gone straight. So for example, the key principle to know is that white king, if it has to come to, let us say, from g6 he has to come to g3, whether he comes in straight line or whether he comes this one, or even after g7. Okay, let us assume that not this, white has to take this. Now from g7, let us say he has to reach h2. It doesn't really matter how he can afford to come up to e5 and then still reach h2, and that is the same distance as if he had come straight and reached h2, because 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, or 1 2 3 4 5, no matter how. So that is why the diagonal moves allow white to keep options. If he wants to come near, stop the black pawn, then also he can do it without losing a move. And if he wants to protect his pawn, then also he can turn the other direction and still not lose a move. So by moving diagonally, he keeps both options open and forces black's hand. So black has to do one thing, either this or that, and then white can decide where to go. Got it? That's the fundamental principle. And why this is possible? Because in chess, the diagonal is equal to the side, unlike in geometry in school. Because it is the one square move that is what is important. Anyone wants to take black side and try to play this? You think black can still win? What if you play f5? Then what should white do?
Sir, if you take the F pawn, is it losing?
Yeah, it is losing because
Oh,
I suppose you take the g7 pawn.
yeah, that's the thing. So ironically, it looks very unlikely that, oh, this pawn is running to queen and I'm going in the other direction. But actually that is the only way. So now f4,
King f7. I mean king f6.
king f6, not f7.
How does it make a difference? I mean,
Makes a huge difference. Do you want to see why it makes a difference?
you make it in the same time, right?
If you
take two
say
moves.
king to f7, okay, then king to b6 wins.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you have to keep an eye on the pawn also.
That's the whole point, right? Diagonal movements.
Yeah.
But king to f6, now if you play king to b6, what is the move?
King F5.
Not f5.
No,
King
king
e5.
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 Because if you
Yeah.
push, you can
Because
always.
now I have the option of going to d6
Yeah.
or going to f4.
f4.
If you push the pawn, then I can no longer catch the pawn, but then I can support my pawn by going to d6. And if you take my pawn, then obviously I take your pawn. So not here, sorry. The mouse slip. I take this pawn, and after that it's a draw.
In a queen and pawn endgame, does having an extra pawn not matter?
No, it matters, but this pawn is far away, right? If this pawn was not on h6.
So also that pawn is a rook pawn. So even if black king was closer to it, white would be able to draw. Because
Not so simple unless the white king was able to go in front of the pawn, right, and block the queening square. Then only.
yes, sir.
So see, this is a very, very important endgame to study and master this. Okay. And it will not happen. See, it is not that. See, why the endgame study is important is that it builds your knowledge, which indirectly it will come to your mind. Directly, you will never get this type of an endgame, but ultimately, it is the knowledge of the endgame that is what comes to your mind, and somewhere your brain will keep this in the mind, and it will pop up in some indirect way. Yeah.
Sir, what if black plays king to b6 right now?
Right now,
Yeah.
we saw that, right? King takes g7.
Okay.
Now you have two options, h5 and f5. We saw both.
Ana karo to aku dama slow kaya dream there macam mitra dawa mitra
You're
kali
on mute. I think there is some random noise.
kaya na mitra medya to
Okay, I'm going to mute all. Okay, not mute. So we saw that h5, king f6, h4, king e5. Again, taking the diagonal path, and h3, then king d6. But if you don't play h3 and you take this pawn, you take the pawn on c6, then king turns this side and catches the pawn. Right? That's what we saw. And if you play f5, then also king f6. h5, playing h5 doesn't help, but playing f4 does help. Playing f4 does help, but then king to e5 still. Right? Then if you play f3, then I play king d6. But if you take the pawn, then again I take this. Okay. Are you convinced now that it is a draw, or still any doubt? Three connected pawns against one pawn, but still a draw. Any other black lines of defense? No? Okay, then in that case, shall we see one more, since we are here? And Srushti, you can extend the timeline of the arena if you want, because we are still here. Okay, so I'll just try to set up one. Let me see, board editor, clear board. Not this. Bishop is on here. White king is on f6. Black king is on e2. Yeah. This is the position, and analysis board will take it. It is white to play. and win. This again was composed by Reti, Richard Reti. And there is a trick, small trick here.
Is it white to? Is it black to draw?
It is white to play and win.
White and red.
Yeah, black will be very happy with a draw if he can get it. Black's pawn is 2 steps away from queening, obviously, right? So
Is it white to play for draw or white to play for win?
white to play for win. Let us try some things, right? Okay, Madhura was saying rook c6. Let us try it. Rook c6. So pawn pushes forward.
You can.
Obviously, you will give a check, right? Otherwise, the pawn is going to queen. King comes to. Where does the king come to? Let us say king comes to b6. Let us not block our pawn. So, you have only one more. Rook to b6, king to c2.
You can't really stop the pawn because it's promoting on a white square.
Yeah,
So you have to give up.
you have to keep giving checks. But if you give a check, then
Black will just repeat.
black will just completely. Okay, what was your idea? Sorry, your idea was, but now rook b6 is not going to help, right, Madhura, because the pawn is about to queen, so you have to give the check. So
Sir, you could play rook to c2.
now rook to c2.
Promote.
Now rook to c2.
Oh.
Oh, wait a second. What if you play rook to c3 on the first move?
Rook first move, huh?
Bishop to c1 after rook to c2, bishop c1.
Okay, let us go back and see. You said, what did you say? Rook to c2, king to
And then
bishop to
bishop to c1. Bishop c1.
This would work if the rook is on if the rook is
Oh.
on c3. This would work, I think. So could like what if the first move is rook to c3?
rook to c3, huh?
And now bishop to c1.
Bishop to
C1. The same idea as before. But then now you can connect.
Yeah, if queens, it's mate in one.
Yeah, exactly.
that's
You have to knight. You have to promote to knight.
Then also it is actually, so you got a solution. This is the thing, because you have to promote to the queen actually, and then it's a checkmate. Okay, so yeah, so this was the trick. Okay, allowing.
What if you promote?
Yeah, if you promote to a knight, then also so it will be a long fight, obviously, but he will be able to win it. Who? White will be able to win this. Okay, because the knight against the rook and bishop, right? They will, yeah, it will take some time. It's not so immediately, but they will be able to overpower the knight. Single knight.
So then you will play rook to c2, rook to b2, and then win the knight.
Rook to c2, I will play first, obviously. Now, if you play to, what do you play? Yeah,
You can only play rook a1.
you have to play rook a1. If you play to rook a1, then what do I do?
Then I'm gonna go to like rook to c5 and try and mate you.
then I can try to go to c5, yeah, something like that, and then yeah. So then let us see what will happen. You will still not, again king will come to, what do you call, king will come to
A2 again.
a2 again, right? King will come to a2 again. So it is not, say it will take some time, but I think you will be able to, you will
You
be
can
able
bring
to,
your king in and
you will be able to corner it. So here, if you have gone this, then what will white do is, let me see, what will white do?
what if you try to checkmate with the bishop? So something like bishop f4.
Bishop f4, yeah, I mean it is this one will start attacking the rook.
I guess you can check with the bishop.
If you give a check, then this is forced, right?
Yeah. And then rook b2 check.
It will take time, definitely, and but you will be able to. So don't worry, I think this end game we'll see it sometime later. Okay, but I think you got the solution. So this is this one. These end games, right? Even the rook against knight end games, it takes some time, and I have also not mastered the technique. I'm also learning that, but there is a way to force the knight away from the king and then attack in such a way that you finally overpower it. Okay, you have to learn it. You have to learn properly. And here, not just the knight, but white has got an extra bishop also, so white will be able to do it. You have to separate the knight from the king. Okay, sometime it takes for you to separate, but after that, once you force the separation, then you are able to do it. You have to use the white king also. You will have to bring it probably. Okay, fine. So I think we have saw, I think 5-6 studies. So yeah, that is pretty much that. So we can go back to the arena now. So we have completed. By the way, with this we also complete the entire L3 course. Okay, we looked at Morphy also last week, and we have looked at this. So we are pretty much done. So now next week we will have the final tournament, and then I have to draft the question paper for L3. So that will take me some time. So I think in 2 weeks time we are finishing. We are on what, 14 today. Next week let us have the final tournament. Okay, shall we have it next week? Next maybe Sunday.
Yeah, sure.
How is the exam situation and all? I hope it is okay. Otherwise, if either next week or week after that, in which case then I will have to give the exam, chess exam next week. So which is better for you, to play the final tournament next week is better, or to give the L3 exam next week is better? You let me know. I'm okay. But I have to draw the question paper. It will take me some time. So that is that. So I think good. So we have come to the end of a long journey in L3 class. Good. Go back right now. I think you go back, and next we'll discuss about what is the thing. So you can go back and enjoy the arena first. All right. Okay, I'm stopping the record.